Yo, what's up? Welcome back to part 3, or welcome to part 3, I should say, not welcome back, unless of course you're watching this video for the second time, which is just weird. Yeah, so, on to the Blu-Rays. I have, I think, 40 Blu-Rays here to show off. Yeah, this has been a fucking crazy-ass month, man, I gotta say, I bought a lot of shit. First off, drinking some Pacific, Schwarzbach. This is like a German lager produced in my hometown here. 8%. 8 fucking percent this shit is, man. So by the end of this video, I'm going to be just tankard, so. No, not really, but. Yeah, that stuff's really good. So I got about 40 Blu-rays here to show. I'm going to show the non-horror stuff off first. I only have... there's 5 non-horror Blu-rays, so stick with me, folks. Stick with me. Yeah, first off is The Last Stand. I had to grab this movie because it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's the only one I didn't own. Kind of pissy, no slipcover, but it was $5 brand new, so you know what, I'll take it. I've heard mixed reviews on this, but I'm really looking forward to checking this out because Arnold Schwarzenegger's return to the big screen. I'm fucking excited about that in the starring role, so that's awesome. Next up is Seven Psychopaths. Again, this was a $5 film. I don't know if this ever had a slipcover, but yeah, I've heard good things about this one, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's just a cheapie at Future Shop, so why not? Oh, I'm going to put these down here. Next up is 2013 film called Spring Breakers, starring James Franco. Fuck, man. Now, I had no idea what I was getting myself into with this one. I remember seeing the trailer when this movie first came out, and I thought it looked like complete shit. Like another one of these fucking typical spring break party films. Real dumb. This movie blew my socks off, actually. It was really fucking well done. James Franco plays like a... kind of like a... he's a white rapper, and slash drug dealer. Kind of the badass in Miami and stuff. And basically what it is these 4 girls, they make their way down there for spring break after doing something really bad to get some money. And they get all mixed up in this party scene and stuff. They get arrested and shit. And James Franco's character bails them out of jail. And then the girls kind of become like his bitch a little bit. And then they start doing some real bad shit. And this movie has the craziest atmosphere and mood to the film. It's such a downer, but it's just a really somber, fucking well-made film. Overall, this is it's a great cult film. I think this is going to be, talked about for years to come, to be honest. If you haven't seen this and you're kind of weary on it, give it a shot, man. Like, honestly, my man Jeremy recommended this to me, NES Ruler 22, and at first I was like, I don't know, man. Really fucking awesome made film. I really enjoyed this. Definitely check this out. One of the best non-horror films I've seen in a while. Next up is, let me see out. Next up is Ted. I'd never seen this movie. Written and directed by Todd McFarlane. Yeah, this was actually really fucking funny. It's basically just a lot of potty mouth. Mark Wahlberg's character as a kid wishes that his teddy bear could talk. He gets his wish. And then he's all grown up now, dating Mila Kunit's character. And they all live together. Everyone can see this talking bear. He's just a live bear. Everybody knows this plot in this one. But, fuck, man, I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. It was pretty funny, actually, to be honest. I was quite intrigued at how many gay jokes were in this movie, considering... Did I say Todd McFarlane? I think I did say Todd McFarlane, didn't I? I meant Seth MacFarlane. Fuck. Not Todd McFarlane. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane, him being gay, I was just quite intrigued at how many fucking rips there was in the film, but... overall, I had a blast with this movie. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And next up is basically tied for my favorite Tom Hanks film of all time. Big and The Burbs are like my 2 favorite Tom Hanks films, mixed in with Forrest Gump, but this is kind of a cool addition. It's like a gatefold and it plays the song. I think that's pretty cool. Nice little addition. Looks great on Blu-ray. Awesome film. Fucking love this classic shit. Very nostalgic for me. I remember watching that as a kid all the fucking time. Alright, so that's going to do it for the horror stuff. I mean, for the non-horror stuff now, getting into the horror stuff. First up is The Purge. Now, I was really, really excited to watch this movie. I heard lots of good things about it. And, you know, if you listen to my podcast, you know you'll get my full thoughts on this one. But this one let me down big time. I really enjoy it. The idea of the movie is awesome. I really enjoyed the first half of the film, but the second half was a total fucking failure, in my opinion. I don't want to give any spoilers away if you haven't seen this, but there's no way that the shit would go down the way it did in the end of this film. There's no fucking way you would ever literally just sit there. I don't want to say anything else, but I just found it so poorly done. There's no way. It's too Hollywood. It's too Hollywood. You have to have a better ending than that to make this movie work. But, you know, overall, it's a good film. I think Ann Reddy said this movie, it's not like a home invasion film. It's more like you know, it's kind of more on the lines of like Assault on Precinct 13, kind of like a siege movie. I do agree with that. Like I said, the idea was really well thought out, but it wasn't executed properly in the screenplay. I think that, you know, I don't think the characters would have acted the way they did in the end of the film. That's just my opinion. But it's not a terrible movie. It's just very disappointing in my opinion. Next up is World War Z. Now, I had no ambition ever to watch this movie because it's like Brad Pitt, PG-13 fucking zombie film. But, you know, overall it wasn't that bad of a film. I didn't really enjoy it that much, to be honest. It's been done before. I don't know. I didn't find this brought anything new to the genre at all. It's a big budget fucking infection film. I don't know. I just didn't find it overly that great, to be honest. So, but kind of cool. The slipcover is different than the cover right there. So, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it that much. I'm not gonna lie. Next up is Stephen King's The Mist. This is the edition, double disc edition. It has the black and white version. I've yet to watch it. I just got this actually a few days back. But yeah, looking forward to checking the black and white version of this film. I love this movie. Absolutely fucking love the ending to this movie. It's awesome. You know, this is the way endings should be done. It's totally fucking awesome. But yeah, great film. Looking forward to checking out the Blu-Ray. So, next up, I had to pick this up. I think this is the most underrated John Carpenter film of all time. Never gets talked about. Never gets put into lists. It made my list, my top 10 list. But In the Mouth of Madness, this is just a fantastic fucking movie. I'm trying to remember when this movie first came out. I want to say... 1995. 95 in the mid-90s. Such an odd time for, you know, movies like this. Just a great, great movie. I need to check out the transfer on this. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been trying to watch as much as I can. But yeah, In the Mouth of Madness. Amazing film. Next up is the original Fly movie from the 50s, 1958. Love this film. I just picked up the Fly collection on DVD, but I had to grab this on Blu-ray. I love this movie. I haven't checked out the transfer. Obviously, it's still wrapped up, but I actually didn't pay $16.99 for this. I think it was $11.99 I got for it. So it's not a bad deal. But yeah, the original Fly. I really like how they put the Fly in the 20th Century Fox right there. If you can see that. I think that's such a fucking cool touch. Very cool touch. Next up is a movie. I only picked this up because it was $8. It was like an HMV exclusive deal of the day or something like that. It was like $8. I never had any ambition to watch this. I didn't think I'd ever watch this movie. And that is Warm Bodies. Mainstream fucking zombie film. From the perspective of the zombie. You know, it's narrated by the zombie. It has talking zombies. It has love. It has everything that I don't want to fucking see in a movie. I hated this movie. I'm not going to lie. I watched this the other night. Oh, this was abysmal. This was absolutely torture. I hated every minute of it. It was so bad. But, you know, whatever. $8. I'm sorry if you enjoyed that movie. It did not work for me. It's not my thing. I just found it so cheesy bad. Okay, next up is Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Kind of pissy I didn't get this with the slipcover, but whatever, it's not the end of the world. Transfer looks great. It's amazing. It's a classic film. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, man. Me and my buddy watched this one night when we were fucking drinking. We actually watched this with the sound off because we were drinking beers and listening to tunes, but we both know the movie so well, it didn't really matter. I just wanted to check out the Transfer anyways, but this is a great film. Great film. Next up is how do you say his name again? Noboru Iguchi. The guy did like Machine Girl and Robo Geisha, Zombie Ass, among films. So I had to pick this one up, and yeah. So this is like a what is it called? Borgar. Fuck, I can't even pronounce this shit, man. But I'm looking forward to watching this because this guy's films are batshit crazy. He's also the guy that did the fart segment in the ABCs of Death, which most people fucking hated, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But so if you don't like that segment, don't check out Zombie Ass. You probably won't like it then. But yeah, this one just looks amazingly cheesy and fun. I really like these batshit crazy, stupid fucking Asian Japanese films. They're awesome, but really looking forward to checking that out. Next up, I picked up the Gamera trilogy. Now, this was a good deal, man. This was like $10 or $11 or something like that for all three, for the trilogy, which is good. Yeah, so it comes on 2 discs, 3 movies, but really, I mean, can't pass it up. I've only ever seen the first one. I remember it being okay, but I need to revisit these films. So, these were all made in the 90s, 95, 96, 99. Very interesting. Next up is Phantom of the Opera. This was they actually sent me the wrong edition of Phantom of the Opera. This is not the one I ordered, but you know what? I'm going to keep it anyways because whatever. They actually sent me a UK release too. It's kind of interesting. Something got messed up there, but I'd actually ordered the original Phantom of the Opera. But you know what? I'll keep this one. I'll eventually get the other one, so not a big deal. I don't really know much about this one. I know this one came out in the early 2000s. 2004 it says, so I don't know. I'll give it a whirl. I've seen many adaptations of the film, so. Next up from Grindhouse Releasings is Corruption. I apologize because this has reverse cover art. This has boobs on the cover, so I had to put this one, the more violent one with boobies on the cover. They're animated anyways, so don't trip out if you're seeing boobs. Not animated, they're illustrated, whatever you want to call it. Corruption from 1967, I believe this movie is. Peter Cushing plays a doctor, or he's a doctor, and his wife gets severely burned on her face, and she's a model and stuff, and basically he figures out a way to cure her burns by using the pituitary gland from a human. So basically what it comes down to is that he starts killing off women to get the pituitary glands to heal her face, because her wife is very demanding. His wife is very demanding and very kind of walks all over him, kind of controls him and stuff. So he's out there decapitating women and stuff, and it's actually pretty good, man. It's not as violent and gory and crazy as people made it out to be, but this is a fucking good movie. Peter Cushing's awesome in this, and it's got a really great 60s feel to the film. It feels like a 60s film, very kind of psychedelic with the colors and stuff. And the only thing about this movie that kind of drove me nuts is the stupid score. The score at times kind of took me out of the film. I thought it was really fucking shitty at times, but you can get past that. It's not that big a deal. It's not as bad as like watching Last House on the Left with that score, but no, this was a fun film. It's got a pretty awesome ending to it too, so I don't know. Really nice edition by Grindhouse, double disc, comes with a nice booklet. It's got the reverse cover art, which is the less explicit cover. I just really like the chick's rack on here, so had to do that. Next up from Anchor Bay is The Living Corpse. Bought this one used, as you can see on the back. I've yet to watch this. Came factory sealed, which is always a bonus. This was $5. So looking forward to checking this out. I like these, these animated kind of horror films and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know much about this. I haven't heard many people talk about this, so yeah, of course. Next up from Anchor Bay is Hellraiser. I did watch this the other night. I wanted to check out the transfer, and transfer is really good, man, to be honest. I thought I'd heard people say that this wasn't that great. The transfer, it might have been the other edition, I don't know. I thought it was pretty well done. The transfer was good. It wasn't like crisp, like A+, but this is pretty much what it was intended to look like, I think, so. It sounded pretty decent also. Hellraiser classic. I prefer part 2. Don't hate me, but this is awesome film. Awesome film. Next up from Scorpion is Day of the Animals. Now, this is another film I talked about on the podcast, 22 Shots of Movies and Horror. This is a fucking awesome movie. I absolutely love this movie, man. From 1977, it's basically about animals kind of rising up and, taking out humans. And the reason for this is because what is happening is the ozone layer is being deteriorated by us. And the ultraviolet rays and stuff are kind of almost not possessing the animals, but they're doing something to the animals that's making them go crazy, especially the ones that are in a elevated, like up in the mountains and stuff. And Christopher George plays, he's like a tour guide or whatever, and he takes these kind of rich people around up in this mountain and shit like that. So they're up in the mountains and stuff, and they start getting attacked by these animals, which are going fucking crazy and shit. And I gotta say, man, this one has real animal attacks and shit, and it's pretty fucking cool. You got wolves, you got bears, you got fucking birds, snakes, a whole pile of crazy shit. Leslie Nielsen's in this film also. He's such a fucking dick. He's like one of the biggest dicks I've ever seen in a fucking movie, man. But I couldn't recommend this enough. Transfer looks amazing. Scorpion did an awesome job. Definitely check this out. Awesome fucking movie. Support Scorpion, man, so they keep putting shit like that out. Next up from Code Red is Just Before Dawn. I did an unboxing for this. Was sent to me by Jeremy because they wouldn't ship it to Canada, so I had him sent it to his house. Yeah, so I watched this. The Blu-ray looks really good. Code Red did a good job. It's got the uncut version and the extended cuts, which I think is like 10 or 11 minutes long or something like that. Just basically extended scenes and stuff. It's pretty cool. Very atmospheric, awesome slasher. I've seen this many times. Reviewed it on my 81 series. Yeah, if you like Just Before Dawn, definitely check this out. It's still in print. It's pretty expensive. Runs you about $26, I think. But, pick it up, man, so Code Red can start putting out some of the other Blu-rays that they've announced over the years that they haven't come out. Fucking Code Red. And again, from Code Red, Voices from Beyond. From Lucio Fulci. I always remember not really liking this movie that much. I did rewatch this. Transfer's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. This movie's not as bad as I remembered it, man. I've heard some people recently say that it's just one of the worst Fulci films ever. I don't know. I actually didn't mind this movie watching it again. It's not overly that bad. So, I don't know. Definitely check it out. This one's still available too, I think, actually. Okay, next up from Blue Underground. I had to pick up the 30th anniversary edition of Maniac. I just had the single disc edition of Maniac. Fuck me. And the reason why I had that is because actually I had originally ordered this one back in the day when it came out, when the 30th anniversary came out, but I got sent the other one and I realized that was my mistake. I actually did order the single disc, so that was my fuck up. So I eventually ended up getting this one, and I paid I think $8 or $9 for this used, and it's still fucking great. I had to pick this up because I wanted the bonus disc, which has the documentary and stuff on Joe Spinell, which is very interesting. Joe Spinell is just a very quirky guy, but, my favorite slasher film of all time, just another addition to the collection, but Maniac, fucking love it. And then next up from Blue Underground is Maniac Cop 2. Watch this. Transfer looks fucking beautiful. Just a fun movie. Really, it has a lot. It's action mixed with horror. I'd probably say a little more action than horror, but, if you're not expecting that going into it, you probably won't like this one as much. But if you know that there's going to be a lot of action in this one, it's a fun film. I think it's just a really well-made film, so by William Lustig. Lots of special features on here. Everyone's showing this off, so. But yeah, Maniac Cop 2. Very nice slipcover. And Maniac Cop 3, which I've yet to actually watch, and apparently this is the unrated version, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm just not overly the hugest fan of Maniac Cop 3, but I had to grab this anyways, being Blue Underground. But I am interested to see how big of a difference the uncut version is, if it makes that big of a difference. I don't know if it will, but next up from Scream Factory, yes, my favorite company. First up is The Horror Show. I actually watched this the other night, and I gotta say, it's not really that great. Also known as House 3. This movie's kind of slow. It doesn't really. It kind of almost has like a shocker feel. It's about this killer. This really crazy killer apparently killed 116 people, gets put to death by electric chair, and comes back kind of supernaturally. Sounds like Shocker. I think they even came out in the same fucking year. But Shocker's so much more fun in this movie. Lance Hendrickson is the lead cop in this film. And of course, he's the guy that puts the killer away, and killer's after him. And he starts tripping out, seeing visions of him everywhere and shit. And people start dying. He becomes a suspect. Blah, blah, blah. It's not really that great. Don't recommend this one. It's actually probably one of my least favorite Scream Factory releases to date. Next up from Scream Factory is Crawl Space, starring Klaus Kinski, directed by David Schmoller. This is fucking awesome. He plays a landlord, and he basically has built like a bunch of crawl spaces throughout the apartments, or throughout the building, so he can peek and watch his female tenants. So it's like a voyeur film, but meanwhile he's kind of got a sick and twisted little thing going on, where he's got this girl all tied up and shit like that, and it's a fucking awesome movie. I highly recommend Crawl Space. Check it out. Loved it. Next up, The Beast Within, from Scream Factory. This is an awesome fucking movie from 1981. I highly recommend this shit. If you have never seen this, well, awesome movie. It's not really, I guess, some say it's a werewolf film, some say it's not. It's more like a Killer Instinct film. It's up for your interpretation, I guess. Definitely check it out. It's fucking awesome. Next up is Saturn 3. I can't really say anything about this one. I haven't watched it yet, but I know this one's featuring Kirk Douglas, Harvey Keitel, and Farrah Fawcett. And I did hear that Harvey Keitel's voice is dubbed in this, which is so fucking weird to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. It looks very intriguing. So I heard the transfer is really good on it, so that's good. But it is Scream Factory. So next up is a bunch of Criterions I got. Eyes Without a Face. This is a French film from 1960. This is absolutely a fucking masterpiece. It's such a great movie. I could not recommend this enough. Next Barnes & Noble sale, if you don't have this, pick this up on the 50% off sale. It's awesome. Highly recommend that film. Next up is Del Toro's Devil's Backbone. I've never actually watched this movie, so I still haven't seen it, haven't gotten around to it, but Criterion, if they put it out, it's got to be good. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that out. Next up is a Japanese film from 1977 called House. This fucking movie is just... This movie's batshit crazy. It's weird. It's just awesome. It's such a cool movie that Criterion released. You couldn't ask for a better company to release something this awesome. Yeah, check this shit out, man. It's fucking amazing. Highly recommended House. Next up is David Cronenberg's Videodrome. I absolutely love the look of this release. It's got the slip box. It comes with the the fucking beta tape. Awesome. Transfer looks amazing. Everyone's seen this movie. James Woods. We got Blondie in this movie, which is Deborah Harry. Amazing film. Everyone knows Videodrome. Couldn't recommend it enough. Love it to death. Island of Lost Souls from 1932. This is basically the story of the island of Dr. Moreau. This is an awesome film, man. It probably couldn't look any better. I mean, the transfer on this for the Blu-ray is still, it's from 1932. You can tell they did a lot of cleaning up. I couldn't even imagine this thing not cleaned up, how bad it would look, but this is a great movie. This is awesome. Really fucking fun time. And it should be in everyone's collection, man. Awesome. Great. Another great release by Criterion. And next up here is The Uninvited from 1944. This is, a haunted house film. This movie's awesome. The only thing with this movie that I found that was kind of whatever was the score at times felt a little too happy. It has that like 1940 kind of feel-good score. I was just like, it was kind of driving me nuts a little bit, but it's a good movie. Really highly recommend it, though, if you can just get past that. Shitty scores in films always bug me, so, but yeah. The Uninvited, definitely check that out. Awesome shit. And then last up for the Criterions is Repo Man. I had to pick this up. I have multiple editions of this movie, but this is just such a fucking boss-looking edition, man. It's like, the artwork is just so sickening on this, man. Watch this. The transfer looks amazing. It's got really cool special features on here. Emilio Estevez. I wish Emilio Estevez would do more fucking movies, man. I always liked him as an actor, man. He's fun. But Repo Man. Can't recommend this enough. Awesome release. Alright, so next up is the Blu-ray complete collection of Nightmare on Elm Street, which my mom also bought, or my parents also bought me too. Yeah, it's just too bad that these all didn't come on separate discs. I was kind of hoping that they were going to release this box set as like, you know, how they did with the DVD box set, you know, all individual. But, you know, it's just still fine. Still pretty, I'm not going to complain that they're all on Blu-ray and stuff in one collection, so that's pretty cool. This is just the original series. This doesn't have the remake, thank Christ. Hate the fucking remake, but very happy to have this. And then last up, I got a couple steelbooks here. I actually have a bunch more steelbooks in the mail that didn't show up yet, so... But first up here is Synapse's release of Demons. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful release. It's so fucking amazing. Transfer looks amazing. It's just an awesome steelbook. You got, you know, this new cover art there is awesome, and you got that cover art right there. So I think it's the original one. Lamberto Bava's fucking masterpiece. Love this movie with a passion. Great score, great story, great gore effects, great soundtrack. Great direction, fucking fun characters. Oh, it's just a masterpiece, man. Obviously a little expensive for these. These run about $50. But actually my parents bought these for my birthday, so, which is kind of, but they got delayed, so I never got these until like fucking midway in December or some shit like that. But Synapse did a great job with this. Fucking awesome. I could not recommend that enough. And of course, I have part 2 also. Same thing. I think the transfer's a little better on part 1. Part 2 is fantastic, though. Synapse always comes through with their transfers. They do a really good job. Audio's great. Special features are awesome. And of course, the cover, or the art there is awesome. And you got that one right there. You do a great job. Awesome steelbooks. Fucking love them. I'm not even like the hugest steelbook collector, but I'm starting to get into them more because they're releasing a lot more movies that I actually want to buy on steelbook, so which is very cool. And last up for the Blu-ray update is going to be the Orphan Killer steelbook. Now, this is the first time I've actually ever watched this movie, and it was fucking blast, man. Very, very cool film, and I really enjoyed it. Great effects. Story is whatever, but it's kind of told differently, but I don't know, man. I had a lot of fun with this movie. My only kind of gripe with this release, though, is that if anyone else has had this problem too, which I have heard people have had this problem, it kind of freezes up at times. I think mine freezed up like 2 or 3 times throughout the film, just for like a split second. You know, as it's kind of like changing camera angles or something, you can kind of see that. I thought it originally was my addition, but I went online and lots of people are saying that it froze up in the same parts that it did on mine. So obviously it's the pressing of it or something like that. But it's not really a big deal. It doesn't really take anything away from it. But just an awesome, awesome looking steelbook. I know everyone, like a bunch of people have shown videos of this, so I'm not going to open this up. But same with the Demon steelbooks. But yeah. So yeah, 3 more steelbooks to add to my small but ever-growing steelbook collection. I do have some real cool ones on the in the mail right now. I've got 3 more that are coming that are awesome. So, but yeah, so that's gonna do it for this massive, massive fucking update. My update at the end of January is not going to be that big because I'm saving up for Cinema Wasteland. I'll be there in April, so if you're going to Cinema Wasteland in April, hope to see you there. I'll be there with my man NES Ruler 22 from, of course, Body Bags, and you can check him out on his own channel. So we will be ripping up the place, spending lots of money there. So, but yeah, anyways, that's gonna be the reason why. I'm just gonna save up a little money so I have, you know, expendable cash while I'm there. So, but yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this update, January 4th, I believe it is. And thank you guys for watching. If you made it through all 3 of these parts, I give you a fucking applause. It's so amazing. This has drained me. Okay, anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Peace out.